We have breaking news out of Minneapolis this morning where there's been another ICE-involved shooting. Authorities say federal agents were conducting a target operation of an illegal alien who was released into the country by Joe Biden. In an attempt to evade arrest, the man fled the scene in a vehicle and crashed into a parked car. He then fled on foot. The ICE agent caught up to the suspect and attempted to apprehend him, and the suspect resisted, violently assaulting the officer. At that time, authorities say two people came out of a nearby apartment and also attacked the law enforcement officer with a snow shovel and broom handle. As the officer was being ambushed, the original subject got loose and began striking the officer with a shovel or broomstick. Fearing for his life, the officer fired defensive shots. The initial person was hit in the leg. All three suspects ran back into the apartment and barricaded themselves inside. The attacked officer and person shot were sent to the hospital. This attack just minutes after Governor Walz released a new video slamming ICE agents and provoking residents in the state.
My fellow Minnesotans, what's happening in Minnesota right now defies belief. News reports simply don't do justice to the level of chaos and disruption and trauma the federal government is raining down upon our communities. 2,000 to 3,000 armed agents of the federal government have been deployed to Minnesota. Armed, masked, undertrained ICE agents are going door to door, ordering people to point out where their neighbors of color live. They're pulling over people indiscriminately, including U.S. citizens, and demanding to see their papers. And at grocery stores, at bus stops, even at our schools, they're breaking windows, dragging pregnant women down the street, just plain grabbing Minnesotans and shoving them into unmarked vans, kidnapping innocent people with no warning and no due process. Let's be very, very clear. This long ago stopped being a matter of immigration enforcement. Instead, it's a campaign of organized brutality against the people of Minnesota by our own federal government. Last week, that campaign claimed the life of Renee Nicole Good. We've all watched the video. We've all seen what happened. And yet, instead of conducting an impartial investigation so we can hold accountable the officer responsible for Renee's death, the Trump administration is devoting the full power of the federal government to finding an excuse to attack the victim and her family.
Let's bring in James Bradley now, a geopolitical expert. James, good to have you on the show with us this morning. Tim Walz has blood on his hands. This attack took place while Walz and Mayor Tim Frey, they're encouraging resistance against ICE agents. Hateful rhetoric. What's your take?
Well, people know me from Flags of Our Fathers. Steven Spielberg and Clint Eastwood made the movie of my first book. They know me for writing about global issues. I'm coming in from Mauritius, an island in the Indian Ocean. So the one key word I agree with Governor Walz said was chaos. And whether it's chaos about this situation, if you look at Brussels, there's chaos. Paris, there's chaos. London, they're demonstrating in the streets. The police are beating them up. Why is this chaos across the Western world? The reason is 50% of our life. What is 50% of everybody's life? It's the money in your pocket. It's the transaction. When you buy a car, 50% of that transaction is your money. And our money is funny. In 1971, when Richard Nixon went off the gold standard, Mao Zedong said, "End of American empire." And that is what's happening. Gold was $35 an ounce then. It was $1,700 an ounce when Joe Biden stole $250 million from the Russian people. Just stole it, just like that. Now gold has gone from about 1,700 to 4,600. Gold is a thermometer, a measure of people's confidence in financial systems. The Western financial system is breaking. It's end of empire. And whether it's chaos in Minnesota or a different color chaos in a different state or country, we're going to have this chaos as our financial system breaks down.
So you're comparing the riots in the streets, the protests in the streets to our financial system.
No, I'm not. I'm saying if the economies were growing, if inflation was non-existent, you would not have this sort of social discord. It's under Biden, it's under Trump. Forget who's president or the reasons why. We're moving into the fourth turning, the famous book called The Fourth Turning. And it's end of empire. It's the breaking up of countries. It's not trust in central governments. And Vanessa, go to London, go to Paris, go to Brussels, go to Rome. It's happening all over the world for different reasons. But it's the root is economic.
Right. And, we see that here. And I firmly believe that President Trump is trying to get a handle on the economic situation here. But I think, James, it goes deeper than that. We have a true issue. You mentioned other countries, but I'm focusing more on what's going on our home turf. This is just chaotic. If we were under a different administration, this law enforcement officer, this ICE agent from last week that shot Renee Good after he was hit by her vehicle, he would already be in jail. And then the same thing with yesterday. There is, we talk about good versus evil, but when have the good guys become the bad guys? What is happening with the thought process of Americans where they are turning on the good guys?
The basis of the society is money. You go to work for money. You buy for money. You're getting paid for this program. That is false. It's fake. It's not working. We don't have inflation. We have the dollar going down. President Trump is trying to solve this. He's the most socialist president we've ever had. He's saying, I'm going to give this money to the farmers, this money to the troops. He's bringing socialism to Venezuela. He says, we'll put the oil companies in there and I'll give them money and give them money. Totally unconstitutional. It's the end of empire. And it doesn't matter if it's Trump or Biden. They're dealing with the foundations are crumbling. And I documented in this book, Precious Freedom, about the Vietnam War. The prime minister of Vietnam told the New York Times in 1966, you are going to ruin your dollar by spending all the money in Vietnam. The reason Nixon went off the gold standard in 1971 was because France was shipping dollars to New York in exchange for gold. Why did France have those dollars? Because the banks in Vietnam were French. Vietnam is the beginning and the source of our problems, and it's coming to fruition now. The next 2 years are going to see the decline of the US dollar, much more chaos, decline of the euro. Paper money is burning and going down in value. And you're going to see more chaos in the streets for many different reasons.
Yeah, well, not to sit here and disagree on your take, because I think you have some very valid points, but I think it goes deeper. These people who are in the streets, and you talk about the chaos in the streets comes from deranged lunatics who just don't have respect. We looked at last week, this mother dropped her child who was about 6 years old off at daycare, and she's a single mother. According to reports, the father of this child has already passed away. Now this child doesn't have any parent, is left without two parents. And so she put protesting in the streets over thinking about what the future of her child looks like. James, I think about that all the time. I'm a single parent. My son does not have a father. He has been deceased. And so when I go to these rallies and events, I steer clear of the protesters because I would never put myself in harm's way. At the end of the day, my goal is to get back home to my child. And so I think these people in the streets, they are deranged. We could talk economy and money. Yes, that's an issue. Absolutely. But I don't know if the two tie in together with these crazies that are attacking our law enforcement officers.
Maybe they don't, and you're bringing specifics. But why was Brussels covered in potatoes? Why did the farmers dump all those potatoes in Brussels? Why has London arrested 400 people for what they said on the internet? Why is Paris locking down on free speech? I'd ask you the question, is chaos increasing worldwide? So specifically, I have no argument for what you're saying about that woman. What I'm saying is we are going to, there's going to be more crazies and more chaos throughout the Western world because, it's not economic. It's not humans here and economies over here. I'm talking about 50% of every person's life is failing, is going down. And it's the end of every empire. Study it. Russia, China, empires change. And we're moving to tectonic changes in our country and in our world.
I agree with you on that. Absolutely, I do. You were mentioning your book. It looks like some photos of your book behind you. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, I wrote Flags of Our Fathers about my dad helping to raise the flag on Iwo Jima. Clint Eastwood made the movie with Steven Spielberg. My brother went to Vietnam in 1967. He came back, they lost. So my dad's Marines won on Iwo Jima. My brother's Marines lost in Vietnam. I thought, well, for my fifth book, I'll go to Vietnam, spend 3 years. Vanessa, I spent 10 years because the propaganda in America is so outrageous about the Vietnam War. It took me years just to empty my head. And this book, Precious Freedom, if you can believe it, I'm the first and only American author who went to Vietnam and asked the winners, how did you win? All the books that written by Americans are about how we could have won if only. No, I caddied for Vince Lombardi when I was a kid, and I wanted to know, why did the winners win in Vietnam? And I'm the only author to have done it, and it's in this book, Precious Freedom.
All right, well, we encourage all of our viewers to pick up a copy. Mr. James Bradley, so good to have you on the show today. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Federal law enforcement officers, they're facing a 1,300% increase in assaults. 1,300%, think about that. Not 90, not even 100, 1,300% increase in assaults. Just last night in Minneapolis, as we mentioned, there was another ICE-involved shooting. And the protests after that, they got worse and worse. We have video from independent journalist Nick Sorter showing how these protesters were able to capture the car of an ICE agent, a vehicle of an ICE agent, and start, as you can see here, slamming the windows, knocking on the doors, damaging the federal vehicle, and then stealing the items inside. That's ICE agents' personal information. That's their laptops. There's reports that a gun was also stolen. This is what's happening in the streets of Minneapolis every single night since last week. Tom Homan spoke to reporters about these criminals on the streets.
President Trump made his promise to American people, we're going to find these criminals and make America safe again. So if they don't let us in a jail, we're going to go in the community. And the difference is, in places that's not a sanctuary, one agent can walk into a jail and arrest one criminal illegal alien. But when you release them in the community, now we got to send the whole team because we got to arrest somebody on their turf. They have access, who knows what weapons. It makes it dangerous for the officer, makes it dangerous for the alien, certainly makes it dangerous for the community. So if Minneapolis wants to help, like I saw Mayor Frey doing an interview this morning, let us in your damn jail. What's the downside of letting a federal law enforcement officer with immigration authority talk to an illegal alien that you already locked up and put in a jail cell? It's ridiculous that they're pushing back on that.
And just this morning, moments ago, President Trump has been very active on Truth Social. That's his social media platform, talking about Minnesota. This is what he had to say. The first Truth Social post that he put out says, if the corrupt politicians of Minnesota don't obey the law and stop the professional agitators and insurrectionists from attacking the patriots of ICE, who are only trying to do their job, I will institute the Insurrection Act. which many presidents have done before me, and quickly put an end to the travesty that is taking place in that once great state. Thank you for your attention to this matter, President DJT. Again, that's the president just this morning saying if he has to, he will enforce the Insurrection Act. Another post from the president just moments ago saying this: a highly respected judge declined to block ICE operations in the very politically corrupt state of Minnesota. ICE will therefore be allowed to continue its highly successful operation of removing some of the most violent and vicious criminals anywhere in the world, many of them murderers, from the state. The great patriots of law enforcement will continue to make our country safe. Record low crime numbers. That's having to do with the chaos in the streets, but it doesn't end there. The fraud being uncovered in Minnesota continues to surface. It all started, as you know, with independent journalist Nick SHIRLEY exposing the fake daycares in Minnesota, billions of dollars being funneled to Somalians. But last night, Nick SHIRLEY released part 2 of his investigation. There is more, not just daycares, fake businesses with fake names and fake addresses. Watch.
How are you? We're looking for the transportation company.
Safari Transportation?
Looking for Safari Transportation?
No, there's no Safari Transportation here.
No Safari Transportation?
Safari Transportation,
Hey,
607 Cedar Avenue.
We're just looking for Safari Transportation.
We don't know.
So, but this is registered for Safari Transportation,
know.
That's the
607.
address.
Okay, we don't know.
We're asking where Safari
There's
Transportation is.
we don't know.
Did you
Okay,
know
so the
Fuad
business is
Omar?
not here.
Don't record.
Fuad Omar?
Fuad Omar,
We don't know. This, do you see this? What is this?
money transferring.
That's it.
Okay,
Well, this
registered.
is from the state.
This is fraud taking place. This is supposed to say, this is for
Go
Safari
find out.
Transportation.
Go find out.
Yeah, we did find out. This is fraud right here.
Registered here
This is
since
registered.
2015.
2015?
Safari Transportation, state of
We don't know
Minnesota.
2015. Well, oh yeah.
Well, but it's registered now. This is current, just off the state of Minnesota
I
website
said
today.
you don't know, please.
This is from today. I just printed this off today. Fuad Omar.
Go check it out.
We're here. This is 607. Where's Safari Transportation?
Okay, it's no Safari, period.
Okay, so it's a fraudulent
Did you-
business.
Did you see Safari anything here?
Exactly.
Did you see?
Exactly. It's
Did
not
you
here.
see it?
It's a fraud.
Did you see, sir?
Okay, thank you. We're going to go to the next
Okay.
address. All right, let's keep moving on. So 607, this is supposed to be Safari Transportation, no transportation company. And now we're going to 617, another transportation company. However, it is actually Cedar Riverside Liquor. Where is the transportation company?
617.
617 right
Dreamline
here.
Transportation for the state of Minnesota is registered to 617 Cedar Avenue South.
And it's a liquor store. David, they aren't even trying to hide that these
Yeah.
are transportation companies. Where are the vans at?
Should we ask?
Let's go ask.
Hey, we're looking for Dreamline Transportation.
Now we're in 617.
No transportation businesses there. Looks to be a front. And there's more. Watch.
Do you guys know where Advanced Mobility is? Do you guys know where Advanced Mobility is?
Advanced mobility?
Yeah, we're looking for it. Never heard of it?
What is this? What is that?
Oh, my name is Nick SHIRLEY. We're just looking for Advanced Mobility.
Hey,
Where's Advanced Mobility at?
we don't care about advanced mobility.
That's what we're asking for. All right, we're looking for Advanced Mobility. Nobody can help us right now. We got a whole group of people trying to get us out of here. We're looking for Advanced Mobility.
We don't care about advanced mobility.
Advanced Mobility doesn't exist.
Get the fuck out of here, man. Get out. You need to get out. You need to get out. Get out.
Now
I'm
they're
telling you,
pushing us out of here.
Get out.
Where's Advanced Mobility
We
at?
don't care about advanced mobility.
That's what we're asking for.
Get out. Get out.
Would you like to give a statement on where Advanced Mobility is?
Nope. Go ahead. Get out. We don't care.
So Advanced Mobility is not anywhere here. We're leaving, sir. Would you like to give a statement on what's happening here in Minnesota?
You make stuff up. This is a
from the
lie.
state of
I don't care.
Minnesota.
Who do you work for?
It's
Who
from
do you
the
work
state
for?
of
No, who do you work
Minnesota.
for?
Nick SHIRLEY.
Who do you work
This
for?
is Nick SHIRLEY,
I
sir.
don't care about Nick SHIRLEY. That's you.
Yes, sir.
But who do you work for?
For Nick SHIRLEY.
I don't care about Nick SHIRLEY.
That's who he's working for today, Nick SHIRLEY.
This is from the
We
state
don't
of
care. We don't care
Minnesota.
about that. Get out of here.
And see, you guys say I can't film, but look at you guys filming. You can do that. You can film here.
Pay from the
Advanced mobility doesn't exist.
Well, so what was interesting was we walked in there, and on the state's website, it says it's in suite 224, but it's a one-story building. None of the suites had the number 2 on them. It doesn't exist. And it's been registered since 1999, and it doesn't exist.
As you can see, Nick is going to other locations and was kicked out when he started asking questions. So in Washington, our Allison Steinberg, she's trying to get answers as well from Congress, specifically from Representative Ilhan Omar. Here's the first video that's been viewed over 1 million times on social media.
Congresswoman, Republicans have repeatedly stated that you committed immigration fraud. Are you at all worried about a formal investigation that could perhaps lead to your deportation?
Well, you're one of those people.
I don't know what that means, but are you at all concerned?
Do I look concerned?
I guess not.
Okay.
All right. What about the Minnesota fraud hearing? You didn't show up for that. Do you think you should have?
Why should I have?
Well, it happened in your state. Don't you want to defend your position?
There were people from my state that were there.
Okay, but why not you? I mean, there's allegations that you're complicit in the fraud. Wouldn't you want to show up?
Why would there be an allegation that I'm complicit? How would I be complicit?
Well, what about Tim Walz?
Do you just ask stupid questions? Is this your thing?
I'm curious to get your thoughts. I mean, there's a lot of controversy around the issue. $9 billion in fraud in the state of Minnesota.
$9 billion?
You don't think so?
Really?
Yeah, and counting. Probably more, honestly. You think that's fake news or what?
That is more than half of the resources that are allocated.
Okay.
So you genuinely, like, your brain has told you that it is possible for half of the resources.
I'm just going off of what
for our public service to, like, half disappear, is what you're saying.
Countless Minnesota state representatives, whistleblowers have come
listen
forward.
To yourself, though.
I'm
like,
trying
just think about that for a second.
Maybe if you showed up at the hearing, you would know that whistleblowers are being retaliated against for exposing the fraud. Why is that? Why are they being tracked and traced?
Think about what you're asking. Who is tracing whistleblowers?
Minnesota state officials, Tim Walz, anyone who dares to speak out against the government.
Tim Walz is doing something to whistleblowers?
Yeah, why is Tim Walz stepping down if he's, you know, innocent? Why isn't he running for re-election?
Because he's had 8 years to serve as our great governor.
He was going to be vice president of the United States if Kamala won.
Yes, and he would have been an excellent vice president.
But now he's stepping down.
Much better than the person we have right now.
And now he's stepping down as governor. Any comment on that? You don't think he's maybe complicit?
He is focusing on trying to make sure our state remains great. All right, have a nice day.
Thank you, you too.
Please read.
Sure, that's what he's focusing on. Well, Allison wasn't done yet. She ran into Ilhan Omar yet again and tried to get answers one more time.
Congresswoman Omar, yesterday you told me to please read when I asked you about the $9 billion fraud that you denied is happening, but I have it right here. I read. Look, Chairman Comer opens hearing on massive fraud scandal, $9 billion.
That's what Comer believes because he's as smart as you are.
It's not just Comer. It's Scott Besson, it's federal prosecutors, it's House Oversight, and it's Minnesota State Reps.
You can have that, ma'am. I think you need to get examined because your brain has been fried in some way, and it's not okay. I really hope you get some help. You and the Republicans here. Take care, okay, ma'am?
I'm sorry, I couldn't go to the learning centers that you're running over in Minnesota, but I think you should perhaps read what's actually.
Need one of those learning centers.
I need one of those learning centers.
Yes, see it.
The learning centers, or as many call them now, the leering centers. Well, Allison even got to question Hakeem Jeffries. He seemed a little disturbed.
Representative Ilhan Omar has repeatedly dismissed the $9 billion Minnesota fraud figure, but numerous people, Treasury Secretary Scott Besson, Minnesota representatives in the state, Chairman Comer, amongst others, have confirmed this number is indeed correct and see it as one of the largest frauds in U.S. history. Do you acknowledge that this $9 billion figure is accurate? And also, what do you make of the Minnesota House introducing resolutions to impeach Governor Tim Walz?
Well, I'm unfamiliar with resolutions having been introduced relative to the impeachment of Tim Walz. I assume that's some extreme MAGA Republican who has done it, so I don't take that effort seriously. And if you're citing James Comer as a source for me, you better start someplace else, because he's not an individual that has any credibility, as far as I'm concerned, relative to the allegations that he's made. If James Comer wants to investigate waste, fraud, and abuse, start with the Trump administration. Go look into your organized crime boss who's running pay-to-play schemes all across the country, shaking down corporations and individuals, launching retribution efforts against American citizens who disagree with him. That's the behavior of an organized crime boss. And taxpayer dollars are being used to run this toxic scheme. If James Comer is serious about waste, fraud, and abuse, go investigate what's coming out of 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue, the Trump White House. Now, as it relates to the allegations that have been raised in Minnesota, there are active investigations being run by state and local authorities who actually do have credibility to uncover the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Follow the facts, apply the law, and let the chips fall where they may.
And the chips are falling. Allison wasn't done yet. She's a busy woman there in Washington, D.C. She then sat down with Congressman Timmons, who says an investigation into these fraudsters is underway, and we will get answers.
I think that it's a racket.
What kind of message do you think it sends when Democrats continually appear to side with the criminals over the American people?
All the money that we've been seeking out through the DOGE subcommittee and Elon Musk DOGE efforts earlier last year, it's all rooting out the waste, fraud, and abuse that the Democrat machine is built on.
Yeah.
So when you see them pushing back in Minnesota after losing $9 billion, and again, that's just in the programs that we've uncovered so far. So I think there's more. I think you're going to see it in other states run by Democrats, and I think that it's a racket. It's a racket. It's a criminal enterprise, and we're going to get accountability.
Today, I'm delighted to sign.
I think that it's
as far as the eye can see. I mean, it's just disgusting, and the fact that this has been able to go on so long is truly astounding.
I think in the last few years, I don't know the exact statistic, but I think they've tripled the amount of spending on social safety nets. And what have we seen from that?
What have we seen?
I would say it's probably worse than ever. Again, I think this is a criminal racket. I think that there's going to be accountability, and they're going to keep squirming as we seek out all the waste, fraud, and abuse.
All right, and so we are going to continue to follow that. The chaos in the streets, the protests, the shootings, the fraud, the scandals, the abuse. There's so much. Minnesota is falling apart. And their leaders saying everything's okay. They're denying the fraud. They're telling ICE to get out of their state. So we'll continue to press for answers, and you can follow breaking updates on air and social media, also online, LINDELLTV.com. We will post all updates on those platforms. Now to the latest on the Tina Peters hearing yesterday in a Colorado courtroom. The former Mesa County clerk is serving 9 years in prison for just questioning the 2020 election. It was brought up in court yesterday that she has no priors and has never had a speeding ticket. A law-abiding citizen, a Gold Star mother. Her attorneys told the appeals panel of judges yesterday that she's in a maximum security prison. At most, they say, she should be in a minimum security prison, but Colorado doesn't have minimum security prisons for women in Colorado, just for men. So she's forced to sit in jail with the worst criminals, murderers, rapists. Tina's attorneys are asking for Tina's case to be retried and for a fair sentence. No decision was made yesterday. We'll keep you posted. Now to Iowa, where a Gen Z MAGA candidate is running for Congress. I'm happy to have Joe Mitchell here with us this morning. Joe, so good to see you. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Vanessa.
You know, you caught my eye when you announced, because you're Gen Z, you're in your 20s, you're fighting for a better America. How is your campaign going?
Well, Vanessa, it's going great. We have so much enthusiasm. We've raised so much money. But more importantly, we've got so many endorsements from everyday average people in the district. And we go around to, different events every single week, and we talk to people. And people are so excited about having an America First candidate on the ballot. Because you know how slim the majority is right now in the House of Representatives. You have to have America First candidates to stick with the president, because one person could try to throw off the president's agenda. And so we had to stick together. And I've had great endorsements from people like Congressman Jim Jordan. We've had people like Anna Paulina Luna, Brandon Gill just endorsed us earlier this week. So we have the most conservative, patriotic members of the House of Representatives that got behind this campaign, and also organizations like Turning Point Action. And, Charlie was a friend of mine. Turning Point got behind us very early on. They were very instrumental in getting me in this race and getting me to announce. And so we've just had the best support. We've been so excited about this campaign.
And let's talk about that, because I think that's so special, Joe. You and Charlie were friends, and he has a hand in all of this. I know he's watching from above, cheering you on. How did he play a role in you wanting to be in Congress?
Well, Vanessa, I met Charlie September 10th, 2019. Think about that date. 6 years ago to the date that he died, tragically was assassinated. I met him in Iowa, and I met him at an event, and I went there to go get my picture with him. I was a huge Charlie Kirk fan, and I went there to go meet him, take a picture, and he spent 2 hours with me after that event. And I was the youngest state legislator at the time in Iowa. And he said, Joe, we got to get more young people like you to run for office. And so he helped me start an organization called Run Gen Z to help young conservatives run for state and local office around this country. And I'm actually at our Run Gen Z conference right now in Clearwater, Florida. It's our 6th annual conference, but Charlie helped me start that. He gave me seed money to start that. And, Charlie helped me get my job in the Trump administration earlier last year. And, people don't remember this about Charlie, but he was the senior advisor to the Trump transition team. He had a hand in picking the most influential cabinet members, senior level staff for the president. He did so much for this country. People don't even know about, and he had such a heavy hand in my life to help me run for this congressional seat now.
And I'm so glad you mentioned Run Gen Z. I follow Run Gen Z on Instagram. And I am so proud of the work that you're doing, that Run Gen Z is doing, because they're getting these younger adults to really get involved in saving our country. That's what Run Gen Z is all about. I've actually had some of your candidates and also some people who have won their races on my shows in the past, Joe. And so you're really doing a great job. Again, glad you mentioned Run Gen Z, because I encourage everyone listening right now, if you're a parent, grandparent, aunt, uncle, to let your kids, your college-age kids, your high school kids know about Run Gen Z. It's just an amazing organization. And like you mentioned, the event going on this week that you're at. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, Vanessa, I started Run Gen Z because I ran when I was 20 years old for the Iowa State House. And I ran it. I didn't have any prior experience. I'd never been on a political campaign before. My first campaign I was on was my own campaign. And so, I run this campaign. I knocked on thousands of doors across the district, and I put the work in, and I won by 100 votes. And so we took that story and we went to elevate that to thousands of other young people across this country. And that's what we've done so far. And so, we have hundreds of young people now we've helped get elected to school board races, to city council races, the state legislative races across this country. And so this weekend, we have about 130 individuals that are coming here to learn how to do that in their state. And I think we have over 40 states represented, this week in Clearwater for the conference. But, we've had people like President Trump at our conferences. We've had people, congressional members up and down the ballot that have came and spoke, because they know how important the pipeline is and the roster for futures to come. And I've always said, if you want a long-term fix, this is what to give to, and this is what to get involved in, because, it takes generations and it takes decades, like the left has done for a long time, to be able to compete against these people. And so that's what Run Gen Z is. It's the Roth IRA of politics, I say. You invest early, invest often in these candidates, and then eventually you'll see a future president maybe. And so that's what we've been doing with, Run Gen Z, and, they've done a fantastic job, and I'm so proud of the organization and honored to be the founder.
Absolutely. You should be honored. What a great organization. Talking about Iowa now, you've said that Iowa needs fighters in Congress who will have President Trump's back. What is he missing now? We are in control of the House and the Senate, of course, the presidency. What can you do for Iowa? What are some key problems, I guess, that you're wanting to address when you win?
Well, number one, I endorsed the president before the caucuses. And, you didn't have a lot of people in Iowa, unfortunately, that endorsed the president before the Iowa caucuses. And that means a lot. And, you had a lot of people, you saw this over the 4 years of Joe Biden's presidency that abandoned the president during that time. And so I never did that. And I was behind the president during the caucuses. And that's where I'm going to take to Washington. I'm going to be an America First fighter. I'm going to make sure that we're focusing on bringing down housing costs, utility costs, grocery prices. And the president's already working on that, but we need to codify that in Congress. And we need to pass meaningful legislation that's going to make sure that it's a permanent fix. And so, that's what I'm going to go do and be an ally, with the president to help do those things. And so, we're excited about it. I'm excited about, again, being, a member that's maybe a little bit more conservative than some people, but I think you got to be able to push the envelope a little bit. And so that's what we're going to go do when we get elected to Congress.
Absolutely. Iowa needs fighters like you in Congress. I know Iowa would be in good hands when you win. Take us to your website, how people can get involved, maybe volunteer, endorse you, donate to your campaign.
Right. So you can go to joemitchell.com. We'd love to have your support for this campaign. If you're in Iowa, in Iowa too specifically, we'd love to have your vote. We only want your vote if you're in the district. We're not like Democrats. We don't want your vote if you're outside the district or a dead person. We only want your vote if you're in the district. So, but if you're outside the district, we'd love to have your support still. So joemitchell.com is the website, and really appreciate you having us on today, Vanessa. Thank you so much.
Joe, thank you. Good luck to you this week at the Run Gen Z conference. Good luck to you in Iowa. Keep us posted on the campaign. We'd love to have you back on.
Okay, sounds good. Thanks, guys. Take care.
Thank you. Well, milk, we all know it does your body good. And now it's coming back to school lunchrooms. Our Maha Mom segment is coming up next. Stay with us.
With everybody talking about making America healthy again, I thought today'd be a great day to talk to all my fellow patriots about the importance of making your homes healthy again. Well, we have proudly partnered with airwaterhealing.com and their revolutionary whole home air purification system. The V3 from Air Water Healing does 3,000 square feet of purification. It eliminates dust, mold, viruses, and odors. But here's the part I love. They require no filters to ever be changed and virtually no maintenance. Whether you suffer from asthma, allergies, seasonal bronchitis, or just want to protect your family from the flu or even greater threats, don't wait to get your V3 from airwaterhealing.com today. Use code Lindell for 20% off in savings and free shipping. That's promo code Lindell at airwaterhealing.com. Let's face it, you can't trust Big Pharma. They've already tried to block ivermectin, hydroxychloroquine, and raise prices on everything from antibiotics to your daily meds. Well, there's good news. All Family Pharmacy is standing up for medical freedom and helping people get the treatments they actually want. My family and I use them all the time. They made it easy and affordable without the runaround. While other pharmacies are jacking up prices, they've actually dropped theirs. Ivermectin now starts at just $2 a capsule. Use my promo code Lindell10, you get an extra 10% off of that. You need ivermectin, antibiotics, or methylene blue, you name it, they've got it. They make it simple. You fill out a short online form, a licensed doctor reviews it, your meds ship fast right to your front door. If you want to be prepared and have your medications on hand, this is your new pharmacy. Visit allfamilypharmacy.com/Lindell. Promo code Lindell10 saves you even more. That's allfamilypharmacy.com/Lindell. Promo code Lindell10. If you want to drop extra pounds, boost energy levels, and reduce swelling in your legs and feet, then this message is for you. Pure Health Research is on a mission to make America healthy again. And two of their best-selling health supplements are leading the way. First is Liver Health Formula. Over 100 million Americans have a sluggish liver that's riddled with fatty deposits. This can kill your metabolism, pile on the pounds, and make you feel tired. Liver Health Formula takes care of that. It supports thriving liver health with special nutrients like artichoke extract and milk thistle. This is one of the easiest ways to slim down and revitalize your energy levels. Next is lymph system support. If you struggle with fluid buildup or swelling in your legs, ankles, and feet, this is for you. The natural ingredients in lymph system support help gently flush away extra fluid and toxins out of your body. And right now, for a limited time, you get 35% off liver health formula and lymph system support, along with 50 plus other health supplements that Pure Health Research has to offer. So head over to purehealthresearch.com and use promo code Lindell at checkout. That's purehealthresearch.com, promo code Lindell to save 35% on your order today.
President Trump has signed the Whole Milk for Healthy Kids Act into law. This bill lets schools in the U.S. National School Lunch Program serve whole milk and 2% milk. Yet again, that's reversing a rule from the Obama era that limited milk to low-fat or fat-free option. The act was signed into law yesterday. Take a look.
Today, I'm delighted to sign the Whole Milk for Healthy Kids Act into law, which is a very important thing for our farmers, and I think maybe more important for our people, the people that drink milk. This is the first bill signing of the new year, and it will ensure that millions of school-aged children have access to high-quality milk as we make America healthy again. I want to thank Secretary of Agriculture Brooke Rollins, who's behind me, Secretary of Health and Human Services Robert F. Kennedy Jr., Senators John Boozman and Mike Crapo, Roger Marshall, Peter Welch, as well as Representative G.T. Thompson and Tim Walberg, all great people. Also with us today is USDA National Nutrition Advisor Dr. Ben Carson, my friend for a long time. We went head-to-head, and it was not easy going head-to-head with Ben. Where's Ben? He's great. He still looks good. That's because he drinks a lot of milk. And some of our nation's wonderful dairy farmers and their children, they're going to be farmers for a long time, we hope. As it currently stands, schools participating in the National School Lunch Program are only able to offer students low or non-fat milk options. That was changed during the Obama administration, and a lot of people disagreed with it at the time. With this legislation, schools will finally be able to expand their offerings to include nutritious whole milk. It's actually a legal definition, whole milk. And it's whole with a W for those of you that have a problem. Most of the media will get that.
Now, this act will restore whole milk and 2% milk in school lunches, along with low-fat and fat-free milk. So a lot of options now. Schools can now offer flavored and unflavored versions, both organic and conventional. Plant-based milks that meet nutrition standards are also permitted. Supporters say whole milk offers nutrients children need and may increase milk consumption in kids.
Hey everyone, it's Brooke Rollins alongside my great friend Bobby Kennedy, and we have the best news. President Trump just signed the Whole Milk for Healthy Kids Act. And what that means is that whole milk is going back into schools for the first time in a long time, which, Bobby, we think making America healthy again, this is a huge step in the right direction.
Absolutely, Brooke. And 40 years ago, the scientific and medical communities mounted a war against saturated fats, including healthy meats and proteins, and, of course, milk. In 2012, milk became regulated in our schools, and the obesity rate climbed dramatically, and children were funneled into drinking more caffeinated drinks and energy drinks and sugar-heavy drinks, and that has hurt American health. Brooke and I, at the beginning of January, are going to release dietary guidelines, and we're going to announce the end to the war against saturated fats. And we're going to bring back milk, which is a nutritious, wholesome food that every American who can drink it ought to be drinking.
Amen. So thank you, President Trump. Thank you to the amazing leadership on the Hill who got this done. And thank you, Bobby, to our dairy farmers. It's just a huge deal. So cheers.
Drink whole milk. Dairy farmers and bipartisan lawmakers backed this measure to support rural agriculture and child nutrition. The new guidance should implement the new milk options as soon as fall in some districts. So see that coming soon by next school year at your child's school. Now to America 250, celebrating America's birthday this year. A lot is being planned for 2026. We have an update for you this morning. Watch.
We are entering a once-in-a-generation moment in our nation's history. President Trump pledged to the American people that our nation's 250th birthday would be celebrated in a way worthy of our history, our values, and our future. To help realize that vision at national scale, the President launched Freedom 250, the nonpartisan organization created to lead this historic effort. Hello, I'm Keith Kroc, CEO of Freedom 250. Freedom 250 exists for one simple reason: to bring Americans and our friends together to celebrate the triumph of the American spirit. The courage, innovation, and generosity and freedom that define who we are as a nation. Throughout the anniversary year, Freedom 250 will bring Americans together through historic moments and events that showcase our nation at its very best. From the lighting of the Washington Monument to the Great American State Fair on the National Mall, to the first ever Patriot Games, and a powerful salute to America on the 4th of July, this will be a celebration that reaches every corner of our country. But our nation's 250th is not just about events. At its core, Freedom 250 is a national movement bringing citizens, organizations, and leaders together to honor our history, cherish our God-given freedoms, and help build a golden age of opportunity for the next 250 years. This is a moment for all Americans to reflect, to celebrate, and to move forward together, confident in who we are and optimistic about what comes next. This is Freedom 250. I invite every American to be part of this historic celebration. Visit freedom250.org and join us. God bless you, and God bless America.
Freedom250.org, again, is that website. We're excited about all of the events being planned for America's 250th birthday. We'll have all of that coverage all year long right here on My Mornings with Vanessa. More coming up. We'll take a look at opening bell on Wall Street, and we have your news to go. Stay with us.
I'm excited to announce that we're having our biggest Made in America sale ever. We just put huge discounts on products made right here in the USA. My Pillow bed pillows, body pillows, go anywhere pillows, bolster pillows, all made with my patented adjustable fill. Mattresses, mattress toppers, mattress pads, adjustable bed frames, mattress foundations, and so much more. All made right here in the USA. And now we're expanding our USA products beyond just quality sleep. Like the cross I wear every day, now available in both men's and women's. We even have USA-made socks. And are you tired of being tired? Try our new health beverage, Rev 7. Or how about my coffee, the greatest coffee ever. So go to mypillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use this promo code to get deep discounts on all these products. Plus, for a limited time, your order ships absolutely free. Are you taking advantage of President Trump's golden age? Well, what if I told you can just sit back and earn money as President Trump continues to repair our economy and make America energy independent again? I'm talking about oil royalty checks. With the help of the Oxford Club, thousands of Americans have unlocked this secret hack that has put money back in hardworking American pockets. Financial expert and LINDELLTV supporter Mark Lichtenfield has showed me how. It's a way to profit from America's energy production that's been working quietly for decades, even when oil companies were struggling. So go to LINDELLOILBOOM.com to find out how this all works and why it's relevant right now. That's LINDELLOILBOOM.com. Whether it's being a weekend warrior or spending time with your family, feeling your best is the key to doing the things you love. That's why I'm excited to tell you about Nirvanta. It's a natural solution designed to help you stay active and live well naturally. Nirvanta is a topical blend of all natural essential oils like frankincense, myrrh, and a proprietary gold standard plant stock extract. It's perfect for your hands, feet, knees, back, or anywhere else that needs a little extra care. Use Nirvanta proactively as part of your daily maintenance routine, and you're guaranteed you're going to feel the difference. Simply massage Nirvanta in for at least 60 seconds, 2 to 3 times a day to get the best results. And if you're not completely satisfied, you get your money back. No questions asked. There's simply no risk and no reason not to try Nirvanta today. Right now, you get 15% off with code Lindell exclusively at nirvantahealth.com. So stop reaching out for that medicine cabinet. Get Nirvanta instead and experience the difference. Go to nirvantahealth.com. Use code Lindell to get 15% off today. Nirvanta Health. Live well naturally.
Let's head over to New York City. Opening bell just moments ago on Wall Street. Take a look at that. The Dow, S&P 500, and NASDAQ all up at opening bell. Right now, live look, the Dow up 140 points, the S&P 500 up 34 points, the NASDAQ up 174 points at this time. This is reflecting some positive sentiment in early trading this morning, potentially continuing a rebound from yesterday's weakness. Love when we start the day in green. Looking at your news to go now as you start your day and head out the door, President Trump is reiterating his stance that the United States must gain control of Greenland, calling anything less, quote, unacceptable, and framing it as vital to U.S. national security and NATO's strength.
Right now, it sounds like you are saying that you would potentially acquire Greenland by force. That would be a NATO country.
Are you saying that?
Are you saying that? Would you do that?
No, you're saying that.
Would you
I
acquire
didn't
that by
say it.
force
No,
right
you're
now?
telling me that that's what I'm going to do. You don't know what I'm going to do.
So what are the options?
Your
then?
network
Because
doesn't know either.
The Danish foreign minister said that there's still fundamental differences after the meeting with Rubio and with the vice president. Are you willing to leave the NATO alliance in order to get what you want with Greenland? What are the options right now?
Well, I wouldn't be telling you what I'm willing to do, certainly. I'm not going to give up options, but it's very important. Greenland's very important for the national security, including of Denmark. And the problem is, there's not a thing that Denmark can do about it if Russia or China wants to occupy Greenland. But there's everything we can do. You found that out last week with Venezuela. There's everything we can do about things such as that. Not going to happen. We're not, I can't rely on Denmark being able to fend themselves off. They were talking about they put an extra dog, and they were serious about this. They put an extra dog sled there last month. They added a second dog sled. That's not going to do the trick.
Denmark fought alongside the United States in both Afghanistan.
Thank you for telling me that. I appreciate it. But I have a very good relationship with Denmark, and we'll see how it all works out. I think something will work out.
I love a good press conference with President Trump. Never know what he's going to say. Why would he tell his plans? Especially to the fake news. But he has publicly argued that Greenland's Arctic position and potential threats from Russia and China may make U.S. control necessary. As for the president today, here's his schedule. At 11 a.m., he receives his intelligence briefing. At 12:30 p.m., the president participates in a lunch meeting. At 4, he welcomes the Florida Panthers, Stanley Cup champions. And at 1 p.m., there will be a press briefing from Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt. We'll have coverage of that right here on LINDELLTV. And those are your stories that we're following on this Thursday. You can follow the news with us right here and online, LINDELLTV.com. And we leave you today in prayer Our Bible verse of the day comes from the book of Luke, and it says this: Jesus said, "For the Son of Man has come to seek and to save that which was lost." And that'll do it for us here this morning for Breaking News 24/7. Make sure you're following me on social media, and we'll see you same time, same place tomorrow. Have a good day, America.
Welcome to Vocal, the free speech social app that gives you a platform to amplify your voice. Speak freely, connect boldly, and be part of a growing movement for truth, faith, and freedom. Want to know what's happening right now? The Now Playing feature shows you exactly who's live and what's streaming in real time. Check out the show's feed, a non-stop lineup including LINDELLTV News 24/7, shows and on-demand programming all in one place. Connect with your favorite host and never miss a show. Explore the featured page for quick access to LINDELLTV's top shows. Follow your favorites and watch their newest content flow right into your feed. And when they go live on Vocal, you can join the live chat and be part of the action. Ask questions, share your thoughts, even help shape future shows. Stay informed on issues around securing our elections by following your state's Cause of America account. Join a group and connect on a deeper level, from faith and freedom to the future of our nation. Go to vocal.com or download the app today and be a part of the mission to save our country.
Huge breaking news. Mike Lindell Media Corporation, which includes LINDELLTV, has gone public with the stock trading symbol MLMC.
Kara Cashinova from LINDELLTV.
This is Allison Steinberg here with LINDELLTV. We are currently on LINDELLTV.com.
The platform, which has rapidly grown to attract 7.2 million monthly viewers and 150 million annual impressions. Vocal, its subsidiary social media network, supports over 70,000 accounts, and MLMC is poised for even greater success.
This is going to be big, everybody, and I'm really looking forward to it. We all know what MyPillow has done for quality sleep, and we know what quality sleep does for our health. Well, now we're taking things a step further, introducing our brand new health and wellness line, formulated by a doctor with over 20 years of experience who only uses the highest industry standards. I've known and worked with him for over 13 years, and they're made right here in my home state of Minnesota. We have everything from ashwagandha and apple cider gummies, a liquid joint formula, body and beauty detox kits, liquid complex for heart and brain support, a cold buster all-in-one immune formula, Vibe, the best superfood ever, fish oil omega-3 pills, pro and prebiotics gut health formulas, and so much more. So go to mypillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use the promo code to get deep discounts on all these products. Plus, for a limited time, your order ships absolutely free. Swollen limbs, joint pain, inflammation, skin aging, and cognitive decline. These are just a few of the awful side effects that you can experience due to poor blood circulation. And popping ibuprofen is not a solution to the pain. It's only temporary relief, and it's only masking the true problem, which is inflammation. Researchers are saying to add this Antarctic super nutrient to your diet. I'm talking about omega-3 fatty acids, but not just any form of omegas. These particular omega-3 fatty acids are sourced from wild-caught krill. Has been shown to support healthy blood pressure, circulation, brain health, as well as reduce inflammation, swelling, and joint pain. For a limited time, you can grab Native Path Antarctic Krill Oil for up to 66% off plus free shipping. Just go to getkrill.com/Lindell right now to get your special offer.
America's founders warned that without knowledge and virtue, no nation can remain free. Yet through the steady infiltration of Marxist ideology, we have been stripped of both, and we are no longer a moral and educated people. To save America, we must spark nothing less than a national renaissance. That's why you need Freedom Talk Magazine, the journal of truth and virtue. We cultivate enlightened thinking and principled living, offering unique insights into the issues and remarkable people defining our world. Sign up today for your free subscription to Freedom Talk Magazine and join the new American Renaissance.